She held out her hands, and Shan saw now, lying on a slowly closing palm, a disk such as the one Thorvald had shown him. The Terran had only one moment of fear, and then came blackness, more absolute than the dark of any night he had ever known. Light once more, green light with an odd simmering quality to it. The skull-lined walls were gone. There were no walls. No building held him. Shan strode forward, and his boots sank in sand. That smooth, satin sand which had ringed the island in the cavern. But he was certain he was no longer on that island, even within that cavern, though far above him there was still a dome of roof. The source of the green simmer lay to his left. Somehow he found himself reluctant to turn and face it. That would commit him to action, but Shan turned. A veil? A veil of rippling green? Material? No, rather mist or light. A veil depending from some source so far over his head that its origin was hidden in the upper gloom. A veil which was a barrier he must cross. With every nerve protesting, Shan walked forward, unable to keep back. He flung up his arm to protect his face as he marched into that stuff. It was warm, and the gas, if gas it was, left no slick of moisture on his skin in spite of its foggy consistency. And it was no veil or curtain, for although he was already well into the murk, he saw no end to it. Blindly he trudged on, unable to sight anything but the rolling billows of green, pausing now and again to go down on one knee and pat the sand underneath, reassured at the reality of that footing. And when he met nothing menacing, Shan began to relax. His heart no longer labored. He made no move to draw the stunner or knife. Where he was and for what purpose he had no idea. But there was a purpose in this, and that the Warlockians were behind it he did not doubt. The initiate's road, the leader had said, and the conviction was steady in his mind that he faced some test of alien devising. A cavern with a green veil. His memory awoke. Thorvald's dream. Shan paused, trying to remember how the other had described this place. So he was enacting Thorvald's dream. And could the survey officer now be caught in Shan's dream in turn, climbing up somewhere into the nose slit of a skull-shaped mountain? Green fog without end, and Shan lost in it. How long had he been here? Shan tried to reckon time, the time since his coming into the water world of the starred cavern. He realized that he had not eaten or drank, nor desired to do so either, nor did he now. Yet he was not weak. In fact, he had never felt such tireless energy as possessed his spare body. Was this all a dream? His threatened drowning in the underground stream a nightmare? Yet there was a pattern in this, just as there had been a pattern in the needles he had spilled across the table. One even led to another with discernible logic. Because he had tossed that particular pattern, he had come here. According to the ambiguous instructions or warnings of the Warlockian witch, his safety in this place would depend upon his ability to tell true dreams from false. But how? Why? So far he had done nothing except walk through a green fog, and for all he knew, he might well be traveling in circles. Because there was nothing else to do, Shan walked on, his boots pressing sand, rising from each step with a small sucking sound. Then, as he stooped to search for some indication of a path or road which might guide him, his ears caught the slightest of noises, other small sucking whispers. He was not the only wayfarer in this place. This concludes Chapter 12.